middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Oerman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Erick Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Oerman.
Welcome to another exciting episode of On the Block. There's no Strick and Bach. There's no Austin and Strick. There is no Jay Foreman, Austin and Strick. It is Slicky, Tricky, Nicky that is in the building. What's going on, Tricky, Nicky?
Well, I'm in the building, but Austin's here. What's up, Austin?
Austin ain't here.
I'm right here, you Strick.
Oh,
I'm right here. Come on. You knew that. I texted you I'd be on. Come on.
Man,
I'm just doing Austin how he does me when I come on
Austin,
remote.
I told Stricky, I said, don't include me. I said, talk to Austin.
Austin never, he always texts me, where you at? Why you ain't here? You should have been here 5 minutes ago.
He asked the important questions.
I was in the stream 5 minutes ago, Stricky. I've been waiting. I'm excited. I'm going to talk to you, partner.
I'm excited to have you, man. Listen, you're having quite a visit out there in good old Las Vegas right now. You've been there for almost, 5 days now?
Yeah, I flew out on Sunday, got in super late Sunday night. It was practically Monday, and I think I finally found the highlight of the trip. I got to meet your boy last night, Stricky.
You got to make Baron Davis.
I did.
Yeah,
man. He said to tell Stricky what's up.
Yeah, Baron's a cool dude. Me and Baron, quick Baron story before we jump off in. But first and foremost, we want to thank all you guys that are listeners to On the Block. And we also want to thank our sponsors that happen to take good care of us. And we know who that is. And that is definitely the Mercado. Every good clean cut, every good cut of meat that you can have with a pause. And we love the Mercado. Thank you, the Mercado, for joining us as a partner, a longtime partner here for On the Block. So, Austin, now we've got that handled and taken care of. Out in Vegas, met the Baron Davis, and Baron had a great career, man. If it wasn't Charlotte, it was New Orleans. If it wasn't New Orleans, it was Golden State.
He's definitely most remembered for Golden State and that dunk he put on in the playoffs.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Where he leaned in and
Ham.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So me and Baron, right? Baron knows I'm a physical player just like himself. And, you know, we I don't think people, you have some of these young guys talking about the matchups, or the non-athleticism of the 90s and all of this stuff. But bruh, night after night, Stockton, Tim Hardaway, Baron Davis, Rod Strickland, Nick Van Exel. The next night, you got Penny Hardaway. Your off night in the league back then was the Little General. And he was still Avery Johnson. And that's just because he couldn't shoot. But other than that, he still was tough because he knew how to get to where he needed to get to be effective and make things happen.
But now it's Luka.
Hey, then people forget about, bruh.
It's Luka. It's Devin Booker.
Please.
It's Anthony Edwards. It's Spida Mitchell. It's Gilgeous Alexander. It's Jamal Murray. It's Jaylen Brown.
Bruh, half of them I don't mind playing. But now the ones I'd hate is y'all forgot about my
De'Aaron Fox.
You forgot
Kobe
about
White.
Steph
It's Zach
Curry
LaVine.
Steph Curry.
Hey, Kobe, don't be hating on Kobe White now. Don't hate on Kobe White.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, the Bulls. I just will say the Bulls did clinch a play-in game.
Good. He is good. But
Austin's
nonetheless,
just against him because he went to the Tar Heels.
Austin, that's good. You got to see my boy, man. But you've been enjoying some good basketball out there in Vegas as well. Tell us about your stay so far. It's been mediocre. What's the crowd's been like? What's been the feel there? And how is it playing in the MGM and not necessarily at T-Mobile?
It is certainly an experience. It has not been full at all. I don't know if I've seen more than about a third of one section filled all the way up. I think yesterday Nebraska was definitely more represented than Georgetown was. Definitely in the first game against Arizona State, there were more Husker fans in the building as well. The environment's fine. It's not overwhelming. It's not all that intimidating. I'm just pretty impressed with how the guys are shooting, Strick. We've had some really good offensive performances up and down the board in the Crown. I know some of that is because these aren't necessarily the best defenses involved, but a new arena, kind of weird surroundings. You're not having your shoot-arounds in there nearly as often. In a new environment, I think the shooting numbers have actually been pretty decent across the board. So you're getting enough fireworks on offense. You're getting some good defensive possessions in there as well. I wouldn't say it's elite basketball. I wouldn't say, Fox is getting everything it paid for, but it's the first year, right? It's fine. It's a basketball tournament. There's nothing to complain about. It's not elite. It's just kind of there.
Well, Nebraska sits at 19-14 right now. They have an opportunity to once again breach the 20-win mark. And it's actually a really good win, I thought. As I watched the game, there's one disappointing thing. There's a couple of disappointing things that I saw last night. You spoke to on the post game. If you have an opportunity and you're watching the game, stay and hit Austin _Oerman 05, right? Is that it, Austin?
No, just Austin _Oerman
Austin
on Twitter.
Oerman on Twitter. Check him out because he gave a really good breakdown, and it was exactly to a T to what I saw. And what was disappointing, I would say, is 20 minutes out of Berkay Berukton-Jail, 0 for 2. Had a couple of moments where you can see the tension between players. It was what he perceived to be a look-off from Juwan Gary, and what then Juwan Gary gets the ball, or Berukton-Jail gets the ball up top, has a seal with a mismatch with Gary, who's having a pretty good night, to say the least. 6 for 13, 3 for 5 from 3, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He goes for a double-double, 17 points, 2 steals, and 2 assists with no turnovers. Good night. Berukton-Jail just kind of looked past the mismatch because he felt that he got slighted by Gary on a post-up, and then he takes a half-hearted 3 challenge with a little sidestep and literally dang near airballs the ball. So it's you still kind of have some of that friction, it looks like, out there, but for the most part, the two that have been consistent throughout the tail end of the season have been Juwan Gary and Bryce Williams. Both of them show up in a big way, basically hitting the majority of the threes on the night, with also Connor Essegian struggling still, going 1 for 6. But, hey, it was a good night for the Huskers, and they looked good doing it. Tell us about some of the things that you saw on the game that night with that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Williams was the story. He got going early. He helped Nebraska finish off late. I think the big story was Cale Jacobson. Things ran really smoothly on the offensive end from the jump, with number 31 making his first start as a Husker.
Pause. I like what I see out of Cale Jacobson, young fella. Hey,
you give him 2 thumbs?
2 thumbs up. Young fella handled himself with poise. Got downhill, crafty, nice little step through with the finish. Cale Jacobson, I like what I see out of the young fella. Go ahead.
He played pretty darn well. You're right. The moment didn't look too big for him. It was nice to see his hard work in the first game, helping key that Nebraska comeback get rewarded with a start. Essegian picked it up late. He picked his spots. The shooting numbers weren't good from 3. Hit a big one, though, to push Nebraska's lead, I believe, up to double digits is what that was, and then hit a mid-range jumper, got downhill for 1 as well. I thought that the Aaron Eulis and Sam Hoiberg did a really good job on Malik Mack defensively. When Mack got hot, it was a 3 in transition. Nebraska lost him. They let him see an easy one go through. And then strict in the second half, Georgetown did a much better job of getting Nebraska's length switched onto Mack. He's so quick. He has a quick trigger. He can rise and fire before Nebraska's longer defenders are off the ground. So when Georgetown mismatch hunted and got Malik Mack off of Hoiberg and Eulis, he was pretty darn good. But Aaron Eulis actually, had a pick 6 that he took the other way, hit a couple mid-range jumpers. And it's that from Aaron Eulis, right? That little mid-range snake to pick and roll, pull up and hit it. if Nebraska would have had that element all year, we're talking about a completely different offense. And so it's good to see better late than never. But I was really impressed with Nebraska's defense overall. I know Georgetown.
Right there. Hey, I said what you just said. If they played that way, because it looked different.
It sounded different. I could hear their communication from the top row, right? They were talking. Their switches were clean. They were crisp. Yeah. Guards were fighting over screens. Posts were hedging until their guard recovered, and then they were sprinting back. Strick, that's the best Nebraska has looked and communicated on defense in a long time this season.
No doubt, Austin. I'm telling you, I was like, where was this at? You would see it in spots, or you would see it if they made a run. Or you would say, no, it was consistent. It was like, so just this quick touch, since we still got a good time. What it reminds me of, what I'm seeing of a very similar run that happened back in 1996 out in New York. That's the type of intensity that they're playing with. I mean, they look confident. They look sure of themselves. They're like you said, communicating. They're talking. I saw Bryce even in one instance go to Hoiberg and say he kind of hand directed him on what he wanted to see. That's the type of stuff that I like that I'm seeing what's going on. They find themselves now in the semifinals. Continue on what you saw as we get to the fact that they're now in the semifinals with a guarantee of 50 G's.
50 G's, that's more than you guys made for your 96 NIT run. Can you believe that?
That's
dang.
Hey, Austin, you ready? Gotcha.
Not saying, just saying. But yeah, I mean, it's good for Nebraska to get a little bit of money to sprinkle in the pot. Initial line came out. Huskers are 1.5 dogs to Boise State, who Fred Hoiberg said, and I think I agree, probably should have made the NCAA tournament. That was, I believe, a 24-win team in the regular season before their 2 wins so far out here in Las Vegas. Boise State's good. Their best player is 6'7" Tyson Dagenhart. They'll play him quite a bit at the 5, a little bit at the 4 as well. He's a 3-level type of scorer that's gonna dominate the game. I think that's a potential Berke Boyukton-Gel impact game. Box score, we'll see. But I think Berke Boyukton-Gel matches up pretty well on both ends of the floor with Tyson Dagenhart. That's a guy that, Strick, I want to see accept the challenge on Saturday morning. Say, hey, you know what? Maybe I haven't played my best basketball, but I'm going to buy into a team concept. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to make the right play on offense. I'm going to make sure that Dagenhart is involved in action so we run his legs when Boise State's on defense. And then when Nebraska's on defense, I want to see Berke Boyukton-Gel make him work, right? Push him off his spots when they want to post him up, be up in his grill. He's got an okay handle, not an elite handle on the perimeter. I think Berke should be, in theory, a pretty good matchup for Nebraska in taking away Boise State's best piece. But I do think Boise State is a little deeper offensively than Nebraska, right? So it won't just be on one guy to slow him down. I think there's a pretty tall task ahead of Juwan Gary and Bryce Williams. Obviously, Sam Hoiberg at the head of the snake as well for Nebraska defensively, because I think Boise does have more options than the Huskers. But if they play with the same energy, intensity, communication on defense like they did, Nebraska's going to at least give itself a shot against a team that ranks very similar to it in kind of the advanced statistical neighborhood.
So Nebraska comes in as a 5 seed, overall seed in this tournament, knock out the Arizona State Sun Devils 86-78, come through in the second game against a very athletic Georgetown team, hold them to 57 points, and now find themselves in an 8-5 matchup against Boise State on April 5th at 11:30 a.m. Looking forward to having that game, my guy. Now let's turn the corner for just a few seconds and look at the Final Four for the NCAA March Madness, where all 1 seeds find themselves there in the Final Four for the first time, I think, since what was it, 08?
08, when the Final Four was held, guess where? San Antonio.
Right, same spot, right? It's like a deja vu. We find ourselves in the Matrix. Neo saying, I saw a black cat shiver twice. And but when you look at this, what do you look at the matchups? Do you think it's the matchups fit right, or would you have liked to have seen Duke and Houston potentially in the finals as opposed to in the semis. As you look at these matchups, do you think they match up fairly? Is it a good matchup? Is there any advantage either way when you look at it, so forth and so on?
Well, I'm just glad that there won't be an all SEC final. We've heard a lot about SEC is so great, SEC is historically great, and that can be true. But I'm glad that we're getting the SEC teams face off on one side of the bracket. You could pair up these 4 teams, any way you want, and we'd get fantastic matchups, right? We saw Duke versus Houston in the Sweet 16 last year. We saw Auburn versus Houston in the regular season. We saw Duke versus Auburn in the regular season. Obviously, Auburn and Florida cross paths as SEC opponents there too. I think it's a fantastic sort of Final Four, right? Houston comes in as the underdog, a big chip on its shoulder, right where the Cougars and Kelvin Sampson want to be, right where they like to be. Houston's tough, they're grimy, but they also have a fun skill component to them as well, going up against a team that right now has the highest net rating in KenPom history since 1999 Duke, who ended up not winning the title, got upset by UConn. Any way you were going to draw this Final Four up with these 4 teams, it didn't really matter the pairings. You were going to get some fantastic basketball. And as long as the Blue Devils pick up 2 more wins, I'll be happy with however it goes.
Well, Nick has got something to add to that conversation. But Nick, as I toss it to you,
well, it's real surface level. It's real surface level because you mentioned something about depth perception and shooting in an empty stadium. I was reading an article today on The Athletic of how Janai Bruin was talking today. You walk into the Alamo Dome and it's massive. It is huge.
I used to play there.
Way bigger than what these guys are used to playing in.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something to watch now is the depth perception of playing in a football stadium when there's the bleachers aren't directly behind the rims and the backboards.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of space. I had the pleasure of playing there both in the NBA before the San Antonio Spurs moved over to their new arena. And then I had to play at the Carrier Dome, and I'm not going to lie, it is a weird spatial feeling.
Is that something that 2 days of shoot around can help you with?
It's tough. I mean, we all have to deal with it, but it is tough. It's a tough dynamic, and whoever deals with it best is who's gonna come out best in it. You know what I mean?
Which is where you might give a little bit of an edge to Houston. They're coming into the Alamo Dome fresh off a regional that was held in Lucas Oil Stadium. It was in Indianapolis, not in Gainwell Fieldhouse, but they have a little bit of an awareness of what it's like to play in a stadium that big. Duke played at the Carrier Dome, beat Syracuse 83-54 earlier this year as well. So I guess Auburn and Florida are the ones that you're really going to be watching the shooting numbers, especially a team like Florida, who is so dependent on the 3. That's how they made their comeback late in the West Regional Final against Texas Tech. In a game like this, of this caliber between teams like this, one segment of a game, 1 4-minute stretch can get you beat. If Florida comes out cold from 3 early because of the depth perception, might be harder for them to come back just because they're not acclimated to the surroundings like maybe the other teams are.
Well, there it is. Well, that'll lead us to our first break. Stricky here in Lincoln in the studio while Austin is there in Vegas getting ready for the Huskers to take on Boise State mañana, isn't it? It's going to be on Saturday.
12:30 Central Time.
12:30 Central, 11:30 there,
10:30 there. 10:30 there.
So we're going to look forward to that. I mean, I got to be honest, Austin, I'm very excited about what I'm seeing so far out of them. No Mia, no Wooster. And then the guys that are next up, stepping up, it's an exciting thing to see. And we'll get into it further, hopefully, when you get back, where we'll dig into what they have coming. What is the impact of the crown? And, is it something that we can see monetarily advance as far as, because you're looking at 50, yeah, solid, but bro, that's trick or treat money for us when we played in the league, when we went to the playoffs. But nonetheless, man, we're going to definitely dig into that. What is that impact? What is the future of Nebraska basketball? What are they going to look like? What type of impact players are going to come back, and what you're losing in Bryce and his leadership, as well as Jawan Gary and his heart. We'll see what they're going to look like coming forth. Any thoughts initially?
No, I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to monitor the growth of the Crown as an event moving forward and to see which of these players, Strick, I think as we turn the page to our next segment, the players that are returning for Nebraska, how many of them can use these last few games here as a springboard to next year, right? We think about Bryce and Juwan and them, trying to use this to springboard into a professional career. But there are plenty of guys here on Nebraska's roster that have a lot to prove for next year, to prove that they can be a dependable piece on the roster, that they deserve starter caliber minutes. And that's why I think tournaments like this are fun as a celebrationary reward for the guys that were on the team and got them to this point this year, but also kind of as that first step into next season as well.
I think back to a couple of years ago on that point to where Nebraska had, and it was really where Fred Hoiberg started turning the program around into a positive direction, was when they went on that 3-game streak with like Ohio State, Penn State, and Wisconsin, if I remember correctly, where they rattled off 3 wins at the end of the season. And that kind of propelled Derek Walker and that roster into next year, where they would then build off of that season. That's how I feel like it's an opportunity for guys like Sam. And it's an opportunity for a guy like Connor Essegian today or this week, I should say. That's how, to your point, Austin, that's how the way I would look at the Crown tournament specifically.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because there's so much opportunity for this team next year, and how they perform here will, for better or worse, shape the perception of what Nebraska needs to do in the transfer portal to restock the cupboard, and what Nebraska and its coaching staff will look for to either take the spot of some of these guys that don't perform, to provide competition for guys that might need a little fire lit underneath them, or to pair with them in different lineup combinations and see who fits best with some of these guys on the floor for the 25-26 Huskers.
Well, there it is. Well, that'll lead us to our first break. Austin hanging out for one more segment, I believe, right, Austin?
No, I'm here all show, Strick. You ain't getting rid of me like that.
You gonna be here all show?
Listen to this.
All show.
Listen, I don't
First
know.
I'm not here, then I'm leaving early. Come on, man.
It's not Stricky.
I thought he was gonna be at the poker table trying to hit the jackpot. My bad.
Have you spent time at like the El Cortez?
I have not. No, I've been occupied.
Okay, throw it away. Throw it to break, Stricky.
We're going to get out of here and head to break. Right after this, we'll be back with Austin and I on 93.7 The Ticket on the Block. Peace.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Oerman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly to mostly sunny skies with light winds. An action high around 59. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy. Low around 42. And tomorrow, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day. An action high near 55. Meteorologist Kyle Glucker from 3.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Now's the perfect time to get even stronger at Planet Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join today for just $1 down, $15 a month. Mix up your routine or create a customized workout plan with free fitness training. That's right. Certified trainers, unlimited sessions with best-in-class equipment. Plus, there's over 2,700 convenient locations to choose from, with most open 24 hours. Save $28 or more today when you join Planet Fitness for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends April 11th. See Home Club for details.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Stop by Window World Lincoln for an open house of their new location at 5945 Cornerster Highway from 11 to 7 this Friday, April 4th, for giveaways and raffle prizes and a remote broadcast by the guys from the Captain from 1 to 3. That's Friday at Window World Lincoln, now at 5945 Cornhusker Highway.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets.
The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena April 18th through 19th.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Aloe at 866-481-2556 or visit aloefiber.com.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Early break, sort of interesting that we could all learn from. He doesn't look at himself just as a running back, he said. I look at myself as a weapon. You should follow suit. I'm not just a radio host, I'm a weapon. You agree?
Noted.
Noted. We're weapons.
Weapons.
Yes. Weapons of destruction.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Erick Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Oerman.
Wow. I don't know why I can't hear myself. Tricky Nicky got me low.
You're on. You know why? It's because you yelled pause, so I had to turn it down.
You know what?
So I didn't scare all the people driving in the cars down the street, man. I didn't want cars driving into our station here because they hear you yell pause. They just veer off the road because they think something just happened. That's the honest truth. I got a text about it.
I got the same text.
Did you say you got the same text?
I got the same one.
I said, person.
I can't believe you co-signing this foolishness.
Hey,
I thought me and you was better than this.
My response was, did he say it loud enough?
Oh, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. Oh, you at the Funny Bone, huh? You from the Funny Bone now. You a comedian, huh?
You know I love.
That's what you are now. Whoever's on the line co-signing that foolishness on the text line, I see you. Dixon. It's all good. Don't ask Stricky nothing because I ain't answering. You know what? Let's get on with the business. Jay, how you doing, my boy?
I'm good.
You think it's funny?
It is funny though, but I'm gonna tell you though, because Austin been killing me. He killed me yesterday. Yeah, him on the screen.
Yeah, Stricky, Nick and I were going in on Jay yesterday. So welcome back to the party.
Yeah, they just been smart guy, just articulate killing.
So is he Brian? And then on the what's that show with the dog and
yeah.
Oh,
he's Brian.
Are you talking about Family Guy?
Family Guy, and he's
one of the most popular shows.
And he's
in
the
last
Family Guy
15
dude.
years.
Yeah, just killing it.
Yeah,
Just right off the rip though.
unbelievable. But that's all right. We're gonna move on and talk more about this Husker basketball situation. And the reason being is I'm interested to kind of see what they got going for the future. Because I'm going to be honest, I personally thought that Cale Jacobson's okay. I thought he's capable. I like his hustle. I think he's versatile. Here's why I say I like the versatility of him. Because when they went overseas and played in that international, just kind of preseason summer deal, and they went over and played, he literally played the big man. Like he played the 4 and 5, and now you seen him last night playing the point guard. Like I like that type of versatility, and I just like the fact that he reminds me. I can't say he reminds me of me because there's not many that play D like me. But I will say that I like the poise. I like the readiness. I like that we're even at the end of the day where so many people could be pouting and, talking down and feeling some kind of way and really don't want to be here and really real quick to be Cancun. And
like they had enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he hasn't. He's consistently stayed ready when called upon. Whenever he gets out there, it doesn't even look like, even if short minutes, 5 minutes, it looks like it's quality minutes for me.
Yeah, he's consistent, man. And, he was a heck of a high school player. Had an unfortunate injury, I think, before his senior year. But people don't realize that he had the walk-off game-winning shot on PBA. So this is not some kid that's like – a charity case. He's a big physical kid. He's strong. He's a legit 6'4", almost 6'5". Wants to be good, and it's a great symbol or a great look at a situation where somebody comes in, deals with their situation. Also on Fred and his staff being very honest with him, telling you, look, dude, you got to build yourself into a Big Ten player. He does it. And he continues to show up every day in practice, and then just so happened that Raleigh's out and Mini Goggles is out, and so then he gets to play. And then he comes in there, he's able to handle the ball against pressure when Georgetown went to like their 2-2-1 kind of 3-quarter trap
press,
and he didn't blink, and it helps that he probably gets all the reps on scout team, so he's in game shape, he practices hard. But then also, I think his physicality has really helped out as well.
So here, Austin, before I let you chime in, like, I also want to expand the conversation. So I don't want you to just talk about him. I want to expand it because you're looking at, for example, Chronister, who is coming. Is it Chronister or Chronister? Chronister?
What?
I don't know. There's
a 2020
Quentin Rhymes.
They have one.
Aiden Chronister.
They have one commit, and it's Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes.
That's their
Rhymes, not Grimes. Grimes is the NBA guy. Quentin Rhymes is the Nebraska guy.
Thank you, Quentin Rhymes.
Okay. So I know that there's a 2026 prospect that they're looking at, but it was also a shooting guard. Here's my thing. Is there just an oversaturation at that position, Austin, as you talk about Cale and other players as well? Is there just kind of a stockpile of that position? And where do they need to go if they're going to jump in this portal at this point?
Well, let's start with the guys that are on Nebraska's roster right now, right? The 4 guards that you're looking at going into next year that for sure, at least as of now, we're on the roster: Sam Hoiberg, Cale Jacobson, Connor Sejan, and Nick Janowski. The guys brought this up on the drive, so Nick, feel free to chime in because I think you were one of the ones that started taking it this direction. But Nebraska can't play all 4 of those guys at the same time but there's no reason Nebraska can't play 3 of them, right? We know Nebraska's gone for more positional size, right? And that's something that they seem to want. Janowski 6'4", Esiason 6'3", 6'4", Jacobson 6'3", 6'4", Hoiberg 6'1", maybe. Nebraska probably won't be able to go with a 4-guard lineup, but I do think having more guards gives Nebraska more lineup flexibility, and Stricky would help them play faster at times, right? Nebraska has leaned into this too big sort of lineup identity, but it hasn't reaped the rewards from it, right? Nebraska's still not an elite rebounding team. Nebraska's still not an elite shot blocking team, despite leaning into more height on the court. If you're not going to lean all the way into making that your identity where it's easily statistically identifiable, what's the point? If the strength of Nebraska's team next year is going to be guards, I really like the idea of Nebraska, running around Rink Mast as the hub in kind of a 5-out system where to start the year, maybe it's Esiason, Jacobson, and Hoiberg on the floor as the 3 guards. You go get a wing of some sort around Rink Mast. Or you could start 2 guards, right? Maybe Esiason develops enough into a starter role. Maybe you like him on the bench, sort of that X-factor bench scoring type of role, whatever it is. But I think having Cale Jacobson emerge as a legitimate option, and it's not to say he wasn't before, the staff has always liked him. They've always been high on Cale Jacobson. He's always been one of those next men up for Nebraska at a variety of positions. But I think this way, with his emergence onto the scene, I think it's just good security in case Nick Janowski ends up not being ready, in case he struggles early on, in case he needs some time to get his feet wet, right? I would like to think that after his redshirt year, Nick Janowski is ready to be a starter from day one, that he's available to step on the court, right? I want to see him get a run. But if Janowski's not ready, or if Hoiberg struggles, or Esiason's not effective, whatever it is, I think Cale Jacobson has proven at the very least he's a capable backup option who's not going to hurt you. Now, I still think Nebraska needs a breakdown advantage creator on the perimeter, right? A guy that can get past his man and set other guys up or get all the way to the rim and score. But I think Nebraska has a pretty decent starting spot for its guard rotation next year with the 4 guys that we're seeing in Vegas right now.
Let me ask you this. What's young fella's name? My mind just drew a blank. The point guard from Georgetown last night.
Malik Mack.
They need a type like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Someone
maybe not as much of a chucker, but someone that can get his own bucket.
But can go get it. Mm-hmm. Like Donaldson from Michigan, who can go get it. If he needs to go get it, he can go get it.
Who now committed to Miami.
Yes.
Yeah. Miami got Donaldson and Malik Renew by the way from Indiana. So those are 2 massive pickups for a new staff down there. I mean, a relatively new staff down there.
No, brand new staff. Jay Lucas is the first-time head coach.
Thank you. That's right.
But guess what they got? They got that straight Tom Cruise and what's my guy's name? Not Malik Yoba. That played Show Me the Money.
Well, and they that part, but don't forget. So they're now out of the I mean, this is how we have to frame this conversation. They're out of the contract of Nigel Pack. Like, you'll remember that Nigel Pack was one of the first basketball guys to solely leave their current spot for the money. And it was like an $800 and some $1,000 NIL deal with John Ruiz, one of the biggest boosters down at Miami. It was like a 2-year, $800 and some $1,000 NIL deal. It was public. Everybody knew about it. Nigel Pack had the great run at Kansas State as a freshman. He then goes to Miami for the next 2 years. He's in the portal. And essentially, Miami's off the hook of that contract. Like, that's now money that they will be able to spend. And they are in 1 year, guys, essentially, in Donaldson and Malik Renew.
Yeah, it's a good look. And let me ask this. This is where we're going. It's spend the big money, land the big name, hope to land in the big tournament as a Final Four play.
Hey, Nebraska's in the Final Four.
Yeah, right. They're playing on Saturday. No, I think, okay, so to that thought, though, I don't know if that's a recipe for Nebraska.
No.
That's where I think it really is imperative that Nebraska staff manages NIL and roster construction better than anybody else in the Big Ten. And in that conversation, like, Nebraska's in that conversation with like Northwestern, I suppose, and other teams that are middle of the road. They're never going to be fighting for a top 4 spot in the Big Ten Conference, but they can be securely in the top 8 if I believe so.
The teams that Nebraska is competing alongside, I mean, Northwestern's a pretty decent comparison, but you're talking about Penn State, Rutgers, Minnesota, and Iowa, I think are really the closest competition for Nebraska. And not to say Nebraska can't contend for that double bye in the Big Ten tournament, right? We know that they can do that. But in terms of resource management and how Nebraska has to approach the roster, I think it's got to be like those schools. And on top of that, Fred Hoiberg has to be an elite coach night 100%. In, night out, not just pretty good, because I think in college basketball, more so than in a lot of sports, not only can a coach build a program in his image for it to last, but you can have quite a bit of control on the outcome of a game based on your decision making, based on your play calling, based on how you recruit guys to a scheme. So if Nebraska is not going to be at the top of the leaderboard in terms of dollars and cents, that means Fred Hoiberg, there's a lot of pressure on him to make as many correct decisions as possible, not just in recruiting, but also in the flow of the game.
So does that mean, like, are we, and I'm asking this question because you guys are way more versed in this than I am. Is there an avenue to where next year we see Berke and Rink on the floor at the same time? Like,
Ricky, go first on that.
Like we've talked, Austin, you and I have talked at nauseum the last couple of days about the playing with 2 bigs. And I think one of Nebraska's biggest issues is it's not necessarily the type of lineup that they want to go with. It's the personnel that they're able to get. And they're not able to get a big man that runs the floor the way they need one to. And Rink's that guy. But I'm saying if they want to play 2 bigs, like I think they tried the more traditional with Braxton Mia this year, and it certainly did not work.
Yeah, they can. But there has to be an accountability put on Berke. I don't care if he goes back to Turkey.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's got to stay either here. He's got to be working with somebody because that jumper's got to be wet next year. Like, look, the stuff he's doing now, falling off to the side, step back, I just need you to be able to step into a jumper, whether it be mid-range, whether it be a short corner, whether it be deep water, with confidence, stepping into it straight up and down. I need you fundamentally sound and knocking down shots, period. Now, the reason why I say they can both play that, because Rink is very heady.
Yeah.
And Berke can play the dunker spot with, pretty good length and ability. So I think they can, because we play that. He's better than even Alec for me in that dunker.
Hypothetically, because I do think that Berke needs to grow into that role mentally, right? Because he should be able to space the floor more credibly than Josiah Alec was, but Alec shot a higher percentage from 3 than Berke did on fewer attempts because Josiah Alec knew his role. He didn't take that money. Berke is not afraid to chuck it. And so I do think that there is an avenue for Nebraska to play both of those European big men at the same time if they downshift Berke to the 4, but then also if they move him up to the 5 when Mast sits, right? The problem when I talk about 2 bigs, and I want to make this crystal clear, is not the fact that size is bad. It's the fact that when Nebraska doesn't have one of those big men able to stretch the floor, make the reads, facilitate the offense, that's the problem, right? I kept bringing up Michigan throughout the years of comparison. They played 2 bigs, but they were wildly different players. Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf were not the same player. They had complementary skill sets. When Nebraska tried to play 2 bigs, it doesn't matter what the combination was, there wasn't one of them that could handle the ball well enough, shoot the ball well enough, or pass the ball well enough to be that facilitating hub at the top of the key, to be that pressure release valve. And that's why it didn't work. Rink Mast and his abilities makes Nebraska able to, once again, go back to that lineup that they had last year because he can shoot, pass, dribble, all that necessary skill stuff to put everyone else in the correct position.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The one last thing that I would say in all of this is we've seen, I mean, there's a big enough sample size of how in Fred Hoiberg's desired offense, the big man facilitates, right? We saw it with Derek Walker. We saw it with Rink Mast last year. And now we've seen it on the flip side, like you said, with that inability to do that. And so I wonder if then, like, how maybe this is my fault for doing this, is like I didn't give Rink enough credit last year. Like, I think we all gave Rink his flowers, but when he went down, we thought, okay, they're going to bring in a Berke. They brought in Braxton Mia. We knew it was going to look a little bit different, but I think, like, we talk about how good of a season Bryce Williams had this year. I think it could have been elevated even more if you could have had Rink on the floor with him. Like, we're talking about Bryce as a surefire NBA opportunity. And he's still in that draft conversation, and he still might be in the later second round right now, but we're having a different conversation about Bryce. I think if Rink is out there able to facilitate the way that it was desired.
That's a fact. Yeah, I agree. But unfortunately, that's going to take us for another break. We'll come back with a quick short segment, and then you know what it is. Thirsty Thursday. Kevin Myers, Corkenbauer, he's already in the building. We'll be right back after this. 93.7 Ticket.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena April 18th through 19th.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Plus, Koppel has over $10,500 off list on other select new models. Our pre-owned truck lot is full of late model low gyms as well. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with a roof credit, 0% is standalone.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with your child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Early break.
Sort of interesting that we could all learn from. He doesn't look at himself just as a running back, he said. I look at myself as a weapon. you should follow suit. I'm not just a radio host. I'm a weapon.
Noted.
Noted. We're weapons.
Weapons.
Yes. Weapons of destruction.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Stop by Window World Lincoln for an open house of their new location at 5945 Cornhusker Highway from 11 to 7 this Friday, April 4th, for giveaways and raffle prizes and a remote broadcast by the guys from the captain from 1 to 3. That's Friday at Window World Lincoln, now at 5945 Cornhusker Highway.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Erick Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
Yo, it is normally Shootout with Strick, but Austin is not here with all the questions that he normally gives that are not working in Stricky's favor. He always gives the hard ones.
It's a bye week. It's a bye week.
It's a bye week.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're still gonna give away some chicken. Stricken. Here's the question. Whoever in the next, I'm gonna set a stopwatch on my phone for 45 seconds. Whoever in the next 45 seconds can get closest to the actual attendance of Nebraska basketball's game last night in Las Vegas wins it. And I will text it back. No phone calls. The time is we're gonna talk through it, but you can folks can still obviously text in. Okay. Time starts now. Whoever gets closest to the attendance last night, it could be 10,000 off. If you're the only one that texts in, that's fine. You win it. But whoever texts in closest to the actual attendance, according to ESPN, is going to go home with $30 in Buffalo Wings and Rings.
And we'll compare notes because I have the official stat broadcast notes up there. So I have the official from in arena attendance as well.
Okay, that's it. That's good then.
Trust and believe you're going to want that $30 of Stricken.
15 seconds left. 15 seconds left.
That stuff is phenomenal. And Austin,
even if you get it on a salad or nachos, it's still phenomenal.
It's a salad. And I get the onion, the good onion rings with the wings. Austin goes with the salad. He's terrible.
All right. We have it. We have a winner. And the winner is Big Ty. The winner is Big Ty. He was the first one. And a part of this is you could look at the app and say, okay, what's the attendance? But if you're able to do that in 45 seconds, you're good with technology. Big Ty is 2,512. How close is that number to you, Austin?
Right on the schnoz. Nailed it.
There it is. Big Ty, congratulations. You've won $30 to Buffalo Wings Rings. Come on, stop on in the station the next 30 days and claim your prize. There you go, Stricky.
There it is. Way to go.
Thinking on the fly.
Nikki on the fly. Nikki, I think you would be good with the bananas.
No, because he's referencing the Savannah bananas. And here's the thing, is not a chance because my body doesn't move the way it needs to move. Baseball is done. I can't dance. I don't want to do TikTok dances. I love Kyle Perry. He's so much better than that than I would be.
I'm watching last night before we go to break. I'm watching and I'm seeing them do one of those TikTok dance segments. And then the guy turns around and I see Perry. I said, that's got to be Kyle. That's got to be our guy. And shout out to Kyle Perry, man, doing his thing for the Savannah Bananas. Sure. If they come in the area, I'm trying to go.
They're trying to get one in Memorial Stadium.
Oh, I'm trying to go. That'd be so dope.
Good thing we know somebody.
Austin, you're still going to hang with us next hour, right?
I can't sip with y'all, but I'll be back at 4:30 if you need me. I'm around.
My man's going to come back at 4:30 because Stricky's going to be sipping and tipping when Uncle Kevy in the building. Big grill guy.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, I'm on?
He's on.
Oh, nice.
The mic's
on. What's happening? I thought my mic was dead, so. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Hey,
ready.
but you're alive at Myers Cork and Bottle.
Indeed we
There
are.
it is.
Yeah.
We got a good Strix pick sitting there.
We got a Strix pick because I know you're a Pinot Noir man. And this one's brand new to the store, and it should be legit.
There it is. We're gonna come right back after this on the block 937 The Ticket.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Oerman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You don't have to cross your fingers when digging into the ground this spring. Start every project with a call to Nebraska 811 so utilities like LES can mark their buried lines and you can avoid injury and power outages.
I tried to hide my cigarette smoking. Then I was rushed into emergency surgery to repair the damage smoking did to my heart. It shocked everyone because they thought I was healthy. Yet because I smoked, I had a severe heart condition that nearly killed me. My tip is, you may be able to hide your smoking from the world, but you can't hide from the damage smoking does to your body.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you facing a legal problem and don't know where to turn? You need trial attorneys you can trust. Liberty Law Group's experienced trial attorneys will handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Whether you have been accused of a crime, injured in an accident, or threatened with a lawsuit, you can trust that Liberty Law will be there for you. Call for a free consultation and find out how Liberty Law can protect your rights and interests. That's 877-42-LIBERTY, 877-42-LIBERTY, or visit libertylawnebraska.com. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Myers Cork and Bottle.
That was a good one.
A light pop.
I'd give that a
6.8.
8.75.
Negative.
Oh,
Uncle
that was
Kevin,
a really
6.5.
good one.
That one was a good one, Uncle Kevin. Now I give that one switch. 6.585.
6.585. All right.
Hello, Uncle Kev.
Nephew Nikki, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. It's been too long, my friend.
I got Nikki and Stricky.
That's right.
This is going to be a good day.
Hey,
Austin's here too.
No,
Oh,
Austin's not here
Oh,
anymore.
he
He's not?
But I was going to allow you to say and let the people know who your favorite duo is when you come in, and if it's me and Stricky, that's good. I appreciate that, and you were going to be safe to say that since Austin's not listening.
That part.
Well, now
hesitation.
here's the thing: is that I've been doing Thirsty Thursday at the Ticket before y'all were even around.
Can you believe that?
So I've done it with every single person who's ever been on the airwaves.
So then, who's your favorite?
Oh, I can't say.
Uncle Kev.
I'm walking out right now.
Uncle Kev was here when I turned 21. So
That's right.
when I
set it up
started
for you.
when I started at the Ticket, I wasn't 21, so I wasn't able to participate.
I think you got one of your very first legal beverages with Uncle Kev.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true on a Thursday.
Good time.
I used to. This is why I'm upset. I used to stay with Uncle Kevy, even though my show was over.
This is true. He put in the extra time.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was out of love
or for the bottle of wine.
Or Stricky needed a drink.
Oh, man.
There
Uncle
it
Kev,
is.
what are we starting with today?
Yeah.
So this is kind of fun. This is a beer called Montucky. Like Montana and Kentucky had a baby, but it's from Montana. And it's just a beer. It's beer flavored beer. It's what they call a sessionable lager. Meant to be just a good summer. This is a baseball beer. This is a fishing beer. This is a golfing beer, a lawn mowing beer, and that's just
everything else
right now.
It smells crisp.
All I need to know is why are we going? This is unusual. You usually backdoor us with the beer, but usually you'll give us the wine first.
It depends
what you got
on the beer.
Okay.
You know,
see,
like,
that's what I want to understand.
A lot of times, if we're doing like a hoppy beer
good.
or a cider or something that is
Or a strong IPA.
or a strong IPA that's going to throw off the wine, then we'll do the wine first. Now this is light.
It is light.
It's like I say, a sessionable beer. This is we're sitting around a campfire in the mountains.
This is a straight patio pounder before you go. Oh, let me stop. We online. We live.
This is a tailgate beer.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you
That's
said
what I meant.
You said it
Literally.
You said it. A baseball, a golfing, a fishing, just out on the patio type of thing. It's crisp, but it's not heavy. I mean, it's
good.
really good.
It's really good.
These come in just at a light, like 4.1, 4.2%.
How many of them do you get? You get a case or you get a 4?
No, it's a 6.
It's a 6
but
pack?
they're 16 ounce.
Oh, they're 16.
Yeah, they're a
ounce.
little
So
taller.
they're tall boys. Yeah. So, and it's born in the mountains of Montana.
My
And,
place.
Yeah. That you
I
a
lived there.
Montana guy?
I lived there.
Yeah.
Great Falls.
Yeah. I bet
Mhm.
it's beautiful.
Beautiful, bro. I mean, that's where the Missouri starts.
Wow.
Right there. Little nice little
So
come out the mountain.
where
It's
a
funny
river-
that you say that.
when they actually fish, a river runs through it. It's not the big Blackfoot River. That doesn't really exist. Is that actually the front end of the Missouri?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it starts up there.
It's bizarre that you said Great Falls. So I have one of my best friends. He played minor league baseball out in Great Falls, Montana.
No way.
Yeah, my buddy that I'm playing golf league with.
Listen, it's beautiful.
He loved it. He loved
and
it out there.
home runs went out the building
Yeah.
because you're
Oh,
got some elevation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you still rake, Stricky?
No, I've got what is it? Warning track power.
Warning track power.
That's right.
That was about all
The
I
closest
had.
I got was off the fence.
If you give
not
us one
too
of those
long ago.
aluminum stealths that they used to use in like the late 2000s in
Oh,
college baseball,
Oh,
I think
I'm
we'd be able to get there.
I'm
But we hit to BP with the Salt Dogs a couple times the last couple of seasons, and we got to the warning track.
Now, if I had the New York Yankee torpedo bat,
Yeah.
I might do
You
something.
might be able to go yard.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are these running me, right? Because you said it. They come in at around 4%. You said
Yeah,
4.5,
like 4.2.
And here's the thing: is that's sustainability and that's durability, because you can sit there and say, well, I can put one of these back and then put another one back and not have to worry too much about it if you're staying at home.
You know what's even better is that they call them cold snacks. So
That's
they don't
even
even
better.
call it a beer; they call it a cold snack.
Yeah.
And so it's a Montucky cold snack. You can buy a 6-pack of those for like $10.
This is
$10.
One of my favorite snacks.
Of the tall boys. Yeah.
What do you usually do? Hum nom. Hum hum. There it is. That's cold snack. What else do you got for us, man, today?
All right. Let me try to talk and pass at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pass the wine to the left-hand side.
Stricky on my left, Nikki on my right. Okay.
You know, Stricky like beer. Well, do we got some viscosity?
This is a Pinot Noir, so it's going to be a little bit more elegant, a little more sophisticated.
Sophisticato?
It's called Bezel. And have you ever heard of the Cake Bread family? Cake Bread wines?
No.
So they're one of Napa Valley's more kind of hoity-toity. Their Napa Valley Cabernet goes for $100.
Are they bourgeoisie?
They are bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
Well, this is their venture into Paso Robles. Also Stricky's country.
That's my spot.
Right. You found your
I
spot
lived
in a
a few
lot
places.
of spots.
Yeah, you like a lot of stuff when it comes to wine.
And so instead of being $100, this is their Pinot Noir. Stricky is a Pinot guy. And these are on sale for $27.99.
Wow.
It's kind of a fun fact about Pinot Noir. You know how wine bottles have different shapes?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know how some of them are
Strick's pick.
kind of maintain about the exact circumference from the shoulders to the punt, which is where the indentation is, and some are more filleted out.
I turned it off. You're good. You're good.
So some are more curved.
Yes.
So
he saw my face. So what is it called?
Don't worry about it. We don't have to revisit it. But go ahead.
No, that's the indentation at the bottom of the wine bottle.
Yeah, you're good. I noticed I was keeping eye contact with you. I had no problem with it. This man was coughing up a storm. Anyway, back to it though.
He's a 50-year-old, 8-year-old.
I know, right? Isn't it wild?
You already know.
Look at him.
We already know. So
come on in and hang out with Stricky right here, 11th right here at the Mill. And the Ticket FM. But the Mill. Come have a drink with Stricky.
So I was going to tell a story.
Yes, please continue the story because I was actually interested in it.
So you know how wine bottles have different shapes?
Yes.
Okay. So wine throughout its history, and it's been around for thousands of years, has always thought or been held in a sensuous sort of regard. And it has human comparabilities. And so the wine producers of Burgundy, which is the east central part of the country, it's a vertical region and it's long and skinny, thought that the Pinot Noir wines were more subtle, sophisticated, elegant, complex, much more resembling the female persona. So they put the wine in the curvy bottle.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the wines of Bordeaux.
So they don't put them in the things like they do on Game of Thrones and you go in and
well, I mean, that was before they had, the sanitized glass and all that. And those things were made of like clay and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the wines of Bordeaux were mostly made of Cabernet and Merlot, which is considered more hardy, more muscular, more masculine. So they put it in the
bulky,
the more male shaped bottle with the broader shoulders and less curves. So
and
that's why the bottles are shaped the way
I was going to say they still do that today.
Absolutely.
They still perceive it as that. Well, I had to make sure I was looking at the shoulders that are actually the shoulders and the punts.
Right.
The punts, right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So perfect. All right.
It sounds like punt.
Yeah. Okay.
And spelled like punt.
Yeah.
They just pronounce it punt.
Yep.
So Stricky, you're as a Pinot guy. What is okay? So give us your thoughts on this one. Because I don't know what I was expecting.
You was looking at dry. He was about to perk his mouth.
I was like, but it doesn't come across the that way.
No, it's very subtle. It's kind of plummy, but a subtle plummy. Not that
not quite as
not
rich
with that
and
not with that kind of peppery. It's very subtle. It's just very smooth, plummy. Little grapey in the back, but not that's the way I taste it.
I'm getting a little more like that not that real like dark black cherry, but more like a red cherry, like a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. And that's what Pinot Noir is.
It's so smooth.
That's the thing is I mean, I've told you I'm not a big dry wine guy. Like I don't like it dry, but that's what by the smell I thought it was going to be. And that's just because I'm an amateur when it comes to trying wines. And so I thought it was going to be a little dry, but it doesn't come across that way at all, which I really appreciate.
Well, and the thing is that this is actually a dry wine, and essentially dryness is the absence of sugar.
Yeah.
And so when you see a wine that's above about 13% alcohol, that means the sugars have been fermented out. However, Pinot Noir has a thinner skin, and so it creates a wine that's more delicate. And what's interesting, though, is that when it's grown in the right places, it actually possesses the greatest number of chemical compounds, what they call phenols. So again, it's not as robust and heavy hitting, but it is more complex, sort of understated and sophisticated. And that's why Pinot enjoys the romance that it does.
It's delicious. It's incredible. So $27.
These are $27 on sale. They're normally about $35. The parent brand Cake Bread, which is a Napa Valley brand, drops it at $3 or three digits, $1. And so this, by comparison, is not much of a drop off, but a third of the price.
Can I ask? And you might have said this, and I was too busy enjoying it. What allows it to be at the fraction of a price?
A lot of it has to do with where it's grown.
Okay, thank you.
So this
is since it's Paso Robles as opposed to Napa.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So Napa's a more expensive place to do business. And in wine, let's face it, you do pay a premium for the history and the prestige of where a wine comes from. And believe it or not, this is actually San Luis Obispo, which is where you actually
my area,
where Strick actually lived.
Yeah,
which is right, literally next door to Paso Robles. It's all considered Central Coast. But this is a little bit more coastal than Paso. Paso's a little warmer, and so a lot of times,
because it's more valley-ish. Paso Robles, right?
You're right. And so, Pinot needs a cooler climate, so it can mature slowly and develop those phenols that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But it's a newer area. And so, prime vineyard land in Napa Valley can be upwards of $5 to $10 million an acre. And so you can imagine if you're starting from something from scratch, you have to charge $100 to $150 a bottle. Down in this area, land isn't quite that as expensive. And so, that's just one factor. There's many of them, but there's also an open trade that happens. So sort of free market Pinot Noir on the, if you say you don't have a contract and you're just buying it on the open market, is going to fetch a lesser price necessarily there than it would say in like Sonoma Coast or even Willamette Valley in Oregon or whatnot. So, and Cabernet is in particular, in Napa is going to fetch a higher price than it does in Paso. So it's just kind of the way it goes.
We did get a question, and I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot here with this because I'm not sure if you can answer it if you're able to. It's Money G in Kansas asked, with everything that's happening right now in the world, does Uncle Kev see the prices going up on alcohol? If so, are there any particular beverages that might see the highest increase?
Well, the highest increase obviously is going to be the imported goods.
Okay.
Right. So, and what's interesting about the alcohol industry, especially in Nebraska, is that everything has to go through what's called a 3-tier system. So as an example, on an imported wine, it starts from the importer, then goes to a wholesaler, and then comes to a retailer like Myers Cork and Bottle, and then goes to the customer.
So there's been a cut that's been elevated on each.
There's a margin and a markup at each stage. Yeah. So as an example, let's just, for even numbers, let's just say a bottle of wine from France, it was $10 and they put a 20% tariff on it. So now that wine to the importer is 12, right? So the importer isn't going to charge his markup on the 10 and then just add the 2.
Exactly.
He's going to charge his markup on the
12.
Yeah. And then
so now that $2 at the wholesale level becomes $3. And then to the retail level it becomes $4, and then to the customer it becomes $5. So that 20% that was $2 to begin with now is $5.
So have you
now
seen
multiply that in, so say it's $20. Now that wine just went up $50. So
so does it kind of hinders your inventory as far as how much you buy?
Definitely on imported goods. Now, here's the thing is that the idea behind all of this, whether you agree or not, I don't mix business and politics.
No, gosh, no.
But the idea behind it is that you're going to buy American because those aren't receiving the tariffs. And so you're going to get more value out of domestically produced goods than you would out of imported goods.
So Modelo going to be expensive, but Miller is going to be cheap.
It all depends on where it shakes out.
Yeah.
Some people believe that this is just a negotiating tactic to get things to even out because we consume as Americans more than what we produce. And they're trying to even that out. And the reason we consume more than what we produce is because other places can do it cheaper than we can. So if it sticks the way it is, that iPhone is going to cost you $3,000, you know? And so, but again, I don't mix business and politics, but that's just the facts of how it works, at least in my business. Now, we were talking about automobiles earlier, American automobiles that are made in Mexico. Are we going to tariff our own stuff? Those are those shades of gray that have yet to be answered.
Yeah.
So,
but in this specifically, on the imported
$5,
you're seeing it. Yeah, you're seeing it.
Not yet, but
not
we
yet.
will.
You will.
All the inventory that we have has already been in this country
That's true.
pre-tariff. So they're not paying tariff on stuff they already bought.
Yeah, of course.
So anything new coming in, we'll see some tariff, and so we will see that. And we.
So I would advise you.
So grab some.
Definitely get that bottle for $27.
Well, or if you're a fan of French wine, buy it now.
Yeah.
Or Italian wine, or
Exactly.
I don't know what we're doing to South America. It's all just crapshoot,
So remind us before we get you out of here, Montucky, a cold snack.
Montucky cold snack.
It was delicious. And then I don't want to mispronounce it. Bezel. Basil?
Just Bezel. From the Cake Bread family. This is the Pinot Noir. We did the Cabernet last week. And we also have it in a Chardonnay, which is all currently part of our winery of the month.
What are we grilling up tonight on the weather?
Well, my son is actually back from Wyoming, and so he's coming out. We've got some prime New York strips.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Uncle Kev always.
Uncle
so
Kev,
what are
big
you
grill
what are you
guy.
going to be drinking with it?
Oh, I've got some good cab.
There it is,
waiting for us.
Oh, where can they find you, Uncle Kev?
They can find us at the corner of 13th and South Streets. If you want to find us by the internet, you can check out myerswine.com. or 402-476-1518.
There it is. Stricky.
There it is. You know it. I know it. And that is definitely a Strix pick.
That's going home with Stricky.
You already Niznai. We are going to get out of here. We're going to come back. We have a couple of more segments. Joining us back on the other side will be Jay Foreman as well as Austin Oerman out there in Vegas. 93.7 The Ticket on the block. We'll see you in a minute.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through April 6th, enjoy all-natural, thick-cut bone-in pork chops for $2.48 per pound, all-natural boneless chicken breasts $2.99 per pound, 5-ounce portions of tuna steak, mahi-mahi, or swordfish for $3.99 each, and Bush Light 30 racks just $17.99 each when you purchase 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Stop by Window World Lincoln for an open house of their new location at 5945 Cornerster Highway from 11 to 7 this Friday, April 4th, for giveaways and raffle prizes and a remote broadcast by the guys from the captain from 1 to 3. That's Friday at Window World Lincoln, now at 5945 Cornhusker Highway.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Early break. Sort of interesting that we could all learn from. He doesn't look at himself just as a running back, he said. I look at myself as a weapon. You should follow suit. I'm not just a radio host. I'm a weapon.
Noted.
Noted. We're weapons.
Weapons.
Yes. Weapons of destruction.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Erick Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Oerman.
Welcome back to On the Block. E. Strick here. Joining me back on the mic in the studio is Jay Foreman, the Husker Hall of Famer, 44 Hound. And he was a hound at the linebacker position, my boy. Hum! Stepping in the A and the B gap, trying to knock somebody out. What was worse, taking on like a Christian Okoye or a fullback like, what's my guy that was with the Cowboys that used to come through for Emmitt Smith?
Dale Johnson.
Yeah. What was worse, taking on like an Okoye type, just meeting him in the hole, or meeting like a Daryl Johnston and then having Emmitt behind him? What was always?
Oh man, that's the real good fullback and running back combination is always the hardest.
Yeah, the combo.
Because they play off each other.
Yeah.
Set you up, and they got some more experience, but just in general, playing against some running backs is tough, man. The ones I
They
got
had
to
them
play
big
with,
boys. They had them big
they
old
was
boy.
big and they was fast. They were quick. They were smart.
Like Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I didn't mess with him.
Whoosh.
He was doing. I mean, he's every bit the size of a linebacker. Ran 4.3 or whatever he ran. That's just
woo. Austin Oerman, what about you, man? Guarding, nobody. You didn't guard. You might shoot, but you didn't guard nobody. Everybody, you was a walking double 20 plus if you was guarding. There's no doubt about it. You was looking at like fish are food or fish are friends, not food.
Joke's on you, Stricky. We played zone. I got that weak side rebound down. I got that weak side block down. I know my role. I know my job.
Oh, man, there it is. Look, listen, thank you for joining us on the block. Second half, a couple more segments left here on the block. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the NBA right now. It is the home stretch for the NBA. Everything is locked in stock. When you look at things on the Eastern side, there's nowhere for anybody else to go but home. It ain't even 1, 2, 3 Cancun. It's gone fishing. There's a lot of people sitting on boats right now with a Myers cork and bottle brewski, and they're sitting there and everybody's chilling. But Chicago Bulls squeaked in. Miami Heat's in. They need help. How the Atlanta Hawks got in with a 36-40 record as well as Chicago, I have no clue, but that's the least of the East. But if you look on the other side, you got the West right now is the best. It's still tight quarters. Sacramento's holding on about a skin of their chinny chin chin. Phoenix Suns is knocking at the door. Portland Trailblazers is a couple games back. Don't know if they can get there. Spurs is definitely Cooper Flag hunting if he decides to leave Duke. I don't know. NIL money might be real good, so I don't know if he's going anywhere. But it would be advisable if he's going and San Antonio gets it. Him and Wemby, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the NBA where it's at right now, it's up for grabs. If the Celtics gets going, then it's just how well they decide to play and who can step up and provide a physical challenge towards them. Because as they get healthy and Porzingis, gets into playoff form, I wouldn't say they become unstoppable, but they become very hard to beat. Now, Cleveland's shown that they have the potential and they've shown at times to do it, but I'm not. There's like maybe they're wait and see. OKC is wait and see. The Lakers are kind of matched.
They 10-0 in their last 10. OKC?
Yeah, but it's wait and see.
Okay, I like what you're saying.
Right?
I like what
the Lakers are matchup driven. Golden State is matchup driven. Denver is health driven. Michael Porter Jr. I think Gordon needs to take a step back and stop taking step back jumpers. Right?
Yeah. I think Golden State's dangerous.
They are, but it's matchup driven because they need matchup in the first or second round so they can get more continuity.
Got you.
Now this is another team that's health driven. It's the Clippers with your boy Mr. No Callback, T. Lue at the helm. Right?
That's a fact, though.
Mr. Brand New.
Hey, that's a fact. Mr. Brand New.
Yeah, you got brand new. You ain't that busy, brother, but that's cool. Look, man, there'll be a time that you ring it. We'll still pick up the phone and we'll still conversate like nothing didn't happen for years. And it's probably more for you, Strick. You guys were in the locker room together. Me, I was just a homeboy who thought we
was better than with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but them right now with if a healthy Kawhi and everybody plays their role, and then the X factor is Zubac. If he gets down like Charlie Brown, and they got Derrick Jones Jr. from Dallas, who's kind of like Brown was for Denver a few years ago, that's the team that could pose everybody some problems. Maybe not win it, but really, turn it upside down. Now it's all based on Kawhi's health and whether he decides he wants to play.
Hey, Austin, I'm going to let you chime in, but real quick, I'm going to throw this out there, and you can grab it if you want to, or if not, you can pass on, or you can add on however your take is, both from the East or the West. But what I'm seeing, Austin Oerman, are you with me?
I'm with you, Eastrick. What you see?
The doggone Sacramento Kings are Have you ever seen what they do when they do that cheese head fall or whatever the case is? They go down the hill.
Yep.
That's how they look right now. They can't stop the tumble, and they can't stop the Shaq rain. There's a song, so I know that might have went over your head. You can't stop the rain. That's how they falling right now, like rain's about to hit right here in Lincoln. But what does it look like for you as you're looking at things? Is Cleveland ready to meet the challenge, or so forth and so on? Talk to me.
Cleveland's ready. Cleveland's good. They got tested last year, and I know they lost in the second round, but Cleveland won a knockdown drag-out series against Orlando in the first round last year, and they leveled up. I didn't see this level of improvement coming from Cleveland. They're legit. I'm not that concerned about Cleveland, right? Yes, they're going to be the 1 seed in the East unless something absolutely off-the-wall crazy happens. But I don't think it's necessarily a failure if they only make the Eastern Conference Finals and don't advance from there. It has been a really good season from Cleveland. They showed that there's a lot to build on. Out west, though, Stricky, you mentioned the rain's fallen on Sacramento. What about Memphis? Fire head coach Taylor Jenkins when they're in a tie for the 4th and 5th seed, and they're 2-8. In their last 10 compared to 3-7 for the Sacramento Kings. Memphis still 8 games above 500. They won't.
Well, at least they're not Utah that went home a month ago. Utah, they've been astro projecting,
right?
Themselves on the court. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say teams aren't gonna catch Memphis just because they have enough of a cushion, right? They're 6.5 up on Dallas and 8 up on Sacramento with, I believe, 6 that is left to play, but. I'm not taking Memphis in the play-in. The vibes are so bad around the Grizz right now. They're dismantling. They're falling apart. And I think it's too bad because that's a team that I saw kind of as a dark horse in the Western Conference. But I've given up hope on Memphis. They're going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to be a real factor.
There it is. Is there any shine? Is it like Shea Gillis time? Like, is it him to basically make his mark now, etch himself in the annals of history by becoming the MVP? Is he legit the MVP, or is everybody just going to pass over Jokic just because they're Jokic sick right now because of how many times he's been able to do it? I have trouble fighting Jokic right now. He's just what he did to in the last couple of games, and they're going at 60. That 60-point triple-double, come on, my boy.
Mm-hmm. Jay, where do you land on that? Jokic versus Shea, where are you at?
I think 3 weeks ago it's Shea. I think Jokic gets closer with this last, dominant game or historical game. But I think they've been itching to give it to Shea because it's been all year. And he's been actually probably the most consistent. But I think the Joker gets it if it's kind of like, all right, we should have gave it to you last year. But I think Shea deserves it, especially the way that OKC has played. But it's another great year where you have 2 MVPs. Now, I don't know if they could do co-MVPs. I would be fine with that, with those 2. But I'd probably right now I'm leaning on Shea unless they take a dip. Yeah. Because I don't think Denver will make enough run by the time the voting.
Yeah.
But Joker's going to do his thing.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my stat finder pulled up here because I want to compare these guys' numbers side by side. It's really interesting because they're both averaging right about 30 points a game. Shea's at 33, Joker's at 32. But the thing that makes Nikola Jokic's case so fascinating is that he's top 10 in the league in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, 3-point shooting. He's shooting 41.6%. From 3 so far this year. He's got a box plus minus of 13.2, a value over replacement player of 9.1. Some of the advanced stats give Jokic the edge, but it's really hard to deny the best player on the best team argument for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, right? I mean, both of these guys are incredibly deserving MVPs. It reminds me a lot of the American League MVP race last year between Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr., right? Judge was kind of in the Jokic camp, right, where he's putting up some just bonkers numbers, doing stuff that hasn't been seen in a long time. But Bobby, it was kind of the engine driving a team that was really bad, the year before. Obviously, the Thunder were solid playoff contender the year before. I do think it's Shea's to lose at this point because he's scoring so effectively, because he's not a liability on defense and one of the best defenses the NBA has ever seen. And that might sound like hyperbole, but relative to the era, this Oklahoma City Thunder defense is historically good. Shea's not a weak link in that, despite the offensive burden that he's carrying. So I do ultimately think that it ends up being a hard-fought MVP award given to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But if the voters decide to go with Nikola Jokic, there's absolutely no shame in that for the historic types of numbers he's putting up. Not just historic for a center, historic for anyone across NBA history.
There it is. So here's the thing. You're out there in Vegas right now, my boy.
I am.
Big games happening tonight. It's the other side of this tournament bracket that we're seeing. It's going to be Cincinnati, UCF at 5 p.m. That is your time, 6 p.m. here in Central Standard Time. Villanova will be taking on the USC Trojans out of the Big Ten. That'll happen at 7:30 tonight. Now, how do you see this playing out as we finish up this segment?
I'm fascinated by both of these games. Cincinnati, UCF, obviously a conference rematch in the Big 12. Now UCF down Big 12's leading scorer, Keyshawn Hall, who committed to Auburn. I was in on Cincinnati before the year. I thought they had the talent to be a second weekend team. Never came together, didn't quite coalesce. I'm excited. I am going to go to, at the very least, the nightcap between Villanova and USC. Eric Dixon is playing really well for Villanova, one of the nation's leading scorers. Villanova's all-time leading scorer now. That guy is you guys remember Amari Spellman, who was on at least one of those Villanova title teams? Remember that name at all?
Rings a bell, barely.
I don't, yeah.
He's essentially a supercharged version of Amari Spellman. He's better with the ball in his hands. Maybe not quite the defender, but he's a versatile piece that I think is really going to get some good NBA looks. And then to get another look at USC, right? Strick's boy, Eric Musselman, obviously in charge of that one. So I got some heckling to do. I'll make sure I use my credential, get right behind their bench, and I'll heckle Muss for you a little bit there, Stricky. But no, these are some pretty decent games on tap tonight, despite the kind of haphazard late nature of the college basketball crown. What's funny, guys, is that the two highest remaining teams in the field in terms of their KenPom rank are playing Saturday morning. It's Nebraska and Boise State. Now, these teams tonight aren't that far behind Nebraska and Boise State. It's a bunch of teams in the low 40s to mid 60s. So I don't know if I'm going to make it to the first game, not all of the first game. Got a nice little restaurant just down the block I've been meaning to try out, but I'm certainly going to be in the building for at least a chunk of that Villanova game because I'm excited to see what Eric Dixon looks like in person.
Well, there it is. We're going to take a last break here. We'll come back, finish it up, and you know what it is. It is Love Volleyball Omaha, the match point. We'll finish off the segment right here on 93.7 Ticket on the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Oerman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you facing a legal problem and don't know where to turn? You need trial attorneys you can trust. Liberty Law Group's experienced trial attorneys will handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Whether you have been accused of a crime, injured in an accident, or threatened with a lawsuit, you can trust that Liberty Law will be there for you. Call for a free consultation and find out how Liberty Law can protect your rights and interests. That's 877-42-LIBERTY, 877-42-LIBERTY, or visit libertylawnebraska.com. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, We're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Koppel also has over 10,500 off list on new select models. So please stop on by and see what confident driving and confident buying is all about. We're right down 144th Street or online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit, 0% is standalone.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly to mostly sunny skies with light winds, and action high around 59. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy, low around 42. And tomorrow, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day, and action high near 55. And meteorologist Kyle Glucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Get ready for spring by joining an evidence-based program to improve your health and well-being. These programs use proven strategies to help you make lasting changes, whether it's boosting nutrition, increasing activity, managing stress, or enhancing wellness. Invest in yourself today and feel your best this spring and beyond. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Erick Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Oerman.
Welcome back to On the Block. Final segment here on the block. Man, it's been a wonderful day. Shout out to Kevin Myers, Cork and Bottle. Jay Foreman with Old School will be handling things after the 5 o'clock hour. Jay, real quick, based on what you've seen on Nebraska basketball, have you seen something uniquely different? They have a chance to get to 20 wins again in their next game. They're in the semifinals. One quick question. Do you think the money is crazy low, or is it just kind of introductory to get guys to want to inspire to come and play in the Crown?
What's the money payout?
I mean, right now they're saying they're guaranteed 50,000
each
total.
Player?
No, total
For the team.
That part. That's what I was saying. Like that's
it goes from 50 to 100 if they win, and then up to 300,000 if they win.
Like we would get that individually when we as we advance kind of up the playoffs. So I'm like, bro, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, they need to up that up.
I think they need to up that.
Like magically right now, because they got it on TV, so they got some investors that way. And if you want to make sure that teams that look at it as an option, you got to do what you got to do. But that's 50,000 for the whole team. That's essentially just I don't even know what that's.
Bro,
apples to apples.
$1,700 a player, 13-man roster, give or take.
How much?
About if it's 13 players, wouldn't it be about $1,700 a player?
Now, let me ask you this: is that 50,000 for on top of what you get for being in the tournament?
No, I don't know what they.
Well, it's 50,000 that goes directly to the NIL pot. That's what it is.
Okay, but they do get like paid to be in the tournament.
I assume so. I don't
Like
know.
We just don't know what it is. It's just wild. It's wild.
How
to
much
me.
is it, Austin?
Let me break out my handy dandy
14
machine.
divided by 50,000.
So yeah, we're gonna do 50,000 divided by 13 players.
Next year?
Oh,
Or
I
is it
guess
for this year?
about $3,800 a player, give or take.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm sure they got per diem. I'm sure they got money ahead of time, but I would have think that the NIL jump, the NIL would be
Like, is it for the next year's NIL pot, Austin, or is it for this group of players?
I keep hearing more and more that it's for this crop of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's kind of wild to me that you
Yeah, that's
know
probably
you get to the
might-
Final Four. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds to
probably
me
the-
like
I thought
you
it'd be-
won the semi.
I think,
You
yeah.
got to the semis.
Yeah.
Maybe you get that.
100,000
and
for the
then you
winner,
win.
75
Right.
for the losers, and then you get in there, then each team gets 250 for that game. So you could possibly
Yeah.
make 350.
Yeah, that's the way I
thought you could make up to $500,000. You make it all the way to the.
That's what
the
I
end of
thought.
it.
Is that what it is?
The
Oh,
total
what they have on here is it's $500, $500,000 in total of what you can make. The champion gets 300,000. The runner-up gets 100,000. Semifinals 50,000.
So you gotta get
no, you can't. So the most they offer out 500,000, but nobody
Total.
walks away. Yeah, nobody's walking away with $500,000.
No.
The most you can walk away with is
And it's
300.
and you go in
300.
there-
Yeah.
yeah. So it's based on.
So it's an accumulation. You basically the further you go,
Yeah.
you can land
You gotta get to
300.
the championship game.
You got to get to the championship game.
Well, you got to win the championship to get 300,000. If you make it to the championship, you're guaranteed 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is.
Which is not nothing, especially a place like Nebraska, right? I mean, that's a not hugely significant piece, but it's not nothing. It's something.
Jay, if you were coaching Nebraska basketball and you looked at this roster makeup, what are you trying to increase or land in the transfer portal at this point? Or what area are you trying to improve on?
I
based on
definitely,
what you
I
saw?
definitely want somebody like William Kyle, rim runner, shot blocker, alley-oop, for real alley-oop dunker, physical enough to play in the big as he's already done. And then
He's in Syracuse now, so we missed that.
no, I said a guy like
No,
that.
I know,
Yeah.
like him. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and so you might even want to pluck old boy from Arizona State that we just played.
Wow.
Big number 9, like your game. Why don't you just take our flight back? Here's $3,800 in advance. Somebody like that, and then I think you need a guard that can get busy, and I don't, and not like Alonzo,
Not a
Verge.
Verge.
Not a Verge.
Right.
I need somebody that can get busy,
Austin
create
likes
for
Verge.
himself, and then create for others.
I'm not anti-Verge. Verge did that. He led the Big Ten in assists. He led the Big Ten in assists.
Austin, stop right now, please.
He grew into his role. Let's be fair to the young man. He struggled to figure it out at the beginning of the year, but he led the Big Ten in assists. He was quick. He could get by his guy, and he could dish the rock.
No, that's the part I did like about him. I did like that he did evolve. I got to give him credit.
Yeah, he did.
He did evolve.
Yeah, but okay, I want the end version of Verge. How
The
about
end
that,
version.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe and then I like a little bit of a forward, kind of like what they maybe thought they were getting in little, I call them miniature goggles. Enough to hit
Miniature
hit the-
goggles fell off the wagon.
hit the
he's up there.
hit the timely 3, sneaky athletic, bang on
he
you a little
ain't doing nothing. Where's he at? Washington?
Yeah, we played him, right? Washington.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the goggles we got
Yeah,
now.
Gavin Griffiths still on the bench.
Yeah.
on the bench.
So I think if you could get, he's hurt right now, but I think if you could get, I think this team depends on more. Next year would depend on the 2 guys out on the roster right now, or as much than what they do in the portal. They got it.
Who's the key guy?
Janikowski is probably more ready, and if they've got to be able to hit on Frager, because Frager gives them a little bit of potentially Jawan, lefty.
He is a dog, though. I've watched him play with ETG. He's a dog. You know, whether that translates.
Come on, Strick. Then when they were playing ETG, they were playing Willie Lump University. They was come on now.
I said as long as it translates.
Yeah, but them dudes wasn't translating that they was playing.
That's your competition. I ain't got.
But no, I think but if you can get continue to develop on him, then it lessens.
They need to keep a balance.
Right. It lessens to go and getting guy out of there. Then you can focus on a rim runner or potential rim runner or somebody like that. You know, like you like a little bit more polished version of the French Connection. I like the French Connection though, man.
You like that?
I liked him though. He just was a little wee too much, but I liked him though. I like the French Connection when he would get in there and get busy a little bit. Then he'd just be off the map for 4 games. So we gotta go 2 games off, a half off, 3 games on, half off.
I would. Okay, who has went on to do their own thing that you wish we could have kept before we get out of here and turn it over to old school Austin?
Kevin Cross.
Yeah.
Kevin Cross. That was a 3-time All AAC player. Not freshman of the year, but I think newcomer of the year, most improved player, all that sort of good stuff. He developed into the closest thing that Nebraska could have had to George Niang, right? If we think about Fred Hoiberg trying to find that type of player, I know Niang was primarily a 4, not a 5. Kevin Cross developed into a good player. He scored at all 3 levels. He passed the ball okay, rebounded it pretty well. You saw the flashes with Kevin Cross. I think he averaged like 7-3-1 in his freshman year at Nebraska. But of all the guys that have transferred out, Kevin Cross is really the biggest impact guy that stayed in college for the next 3 years that Nebraska missed out on. So to me, it's pretty clearly Kevin Cross.
Well, there it is. Thank you guys.
Mine's the French Connection.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get out of here.
Why you don't like the French Connection?
Oh, I didn't say I didn't like them, but we gotta get out of here because Stricky's got to turn it over to old school.
Did you like the French Connection?
Of course.
But Stricky is gonna be back for WTF. We talk back from 6 to 7.
He's got a big old shoulder.
Hey,
layup
on Water Andre.
Yeah,
I liked him too.
Yeah, I did.
I really did.
Think he was just a little. He needed to go to a JUCO.
He's a little ahead of himself.
Yeah. Wait, he's feeling himself sometimes. Remember when he did the little shimmy?
Oh yeah.
I like it though.
We're gonna get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Stricky will. Austin, old school will be back 5 o'clock.